Bueno, muchachos, regresamos una vez más. Estamos un poquito muy emocionados. Llegamos aquí en una ciudad, se llama Picture Rock, y vamos a cruzar, vamos a ir a ver unos paisajes en esta lancha, barco, no sé, como usted lo quiere llamar. Van a ir muchas personas. Es un crucero un poquito grande. No sé qué tan grande es, pero estamos muy emocionados. Así que espero que haga este video para que por si alguno de ustedes quiere venir y a pasárselo bien con la familia. Ya tenemos unos 3 días. Hoy es 3 días, creo, de nuestra aventura, y es un lago muy hermoso. Es el Picture Rock en Upper Peninsula de Michigan. Las personas están llenas aquí. Han llegado muchas personas, así que espero grabar algo. Vamos a seguir, vamos a enseñar nuestro ticket. Ya se está moviendo la manada. La manada de lobos. Vamos a ver qué tan interesante está. Mucha gente grabando, mucha gente emocionada, no como nosotros. Ya todos ya se está llenando allá arriba. Queríamos ir arriba, pero creo que no se va a poder. Nuestros amigos, los abuelos, se fueron arriba. Ya estamos arriba. Todos están subiendo. Vamos a decir algo. Aquí hay tres clases de viaje. Un viaje que es bien rápido, y el otro viaje que es un poquito despacio, y otro más en la tarde. Escogimos el que viaje más rápido. Esperemos. No sé qué tan rápido, es la primera vez que vamos, pero vamos a ver. Nos estamos despegando. Nuestra lanchita está moviéndose despacio, lleno de reversa. Este crucero ya está llegando, el otro. Son las personas que no sé si se ve donde estamos viajando, como es.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard the Pictured Rocks Cruises. On behalf of the National Park Service, I'd like to welcome you to Pictured Rocks National. About 2 hours to complete. On the way out, we'll see a couple of sand beaches, a few waterfalls, and of course those pristine sandstone cliffs that drop off into the water. Some places those cliffs reach as high as 200 feet. And on the return trip back, we'll take a close look at Falls. She was built just this last year in Wetumpka, Alabama. She's 65 feet long, can carry 150 passengers, and is powered by 2 Caterpillar diesel engines. Attention. These life jackets are a nice summer or autumn orange. They just slide right over your head. And there's that long black fashionable belt that goes around your waist, snaps it to the D-ring in front, and you pull it down to your own size. That's all there is to it. Unfortunately though, we only have the 2 life jackets aboard. And you could bet one of them is mine. And the whole captain going down with the ship thing, totally outdated, and I don't believe in it. I am just joking around, of course. We have plenty of life jackets on board. First place I'll mention is down here in the main lower cabin.
Podemos sentir las brisas del agua en la mano, en la cara, todo eso. brisa.
Well, the name of the body of water we're now crossing is called Michigan Bay. Michigan Bay is 2 miles wide by 4 miles long.
Nos estamos acercando al color del agua, que es diferente. Aquí en este lado hay una iglesia y unas casas. Nuestros amigos están disfrutando de su viaje. Unas rocas muy históricas. Podemos ver la brisa del agua que salta desde unos 10 pies para abajo. De abajo para arriba. Podemos ver aquí en este lado las rocas.
You can see where the Park Service have erected a few observation platforms, both on top of the cliff and on the castle. They also built a pretty nice park up there, complete with barbecue pits, picnic tables, and a facilities building, along with the Liz Claymore outlet store. To get out here, you just take H58 east out of Munising, follow the road signs to Miners Castle. Should take you to a parking lot up on top of the cliff. And last spring, we were lucky enough to witness a wedding being performed up there. Many of the passengers oohed and awed that that was a beautiful place for a wedding. To which I agreed. But that's the only marriage that I know of that started off on the rocks. Trust me, my jokes only get worse. This beach through here is known as Miners Beach. You can take the same road that goes out to the castle to get to the beach, but where the beach ends, so does the road. If you want to see any more of the pictured rocks by land, you're going to have to hike. The sandstone cliffs themselves have very little color to them. It's kind of the same color as the beach sand around here, the yellowish color or the gray color that you see there. But the colors you do see that seem to streak down the face of the cliff are caused by groundwater mineral seepage. And what that means is that there's a water table that sits above the lake that dissolves minerals, forces water out the sides of these cliffs and runs down the face. And as it does, it'll dry up and leave stains behind. Makes it look like somebody painted the face of the cliff. All the reds, browns, oranges, and purples you see through here are caused by iron seepage. Blues and greens we'll see later on down are from copper seepage. Black is from manganese seepage. And the white, of course, is from a seagull seepage. Also has something to do with calcium and lime.
Tus amigos muy contentos mirando, disfrutando.
Probably takes a decade or two before all that sand washes away. Typically, these cave-ins will happen in the early springtime as the ice melts. But on rare occasion, it can happen mid-summer. That's exactly what happened here directly out to our right. This 200-foot-long section of cliff came down mid-summer about 3 summers ago. And some people were out here in pontoons and kayaks and were able to catch it on video. You can find that video on YouTube or Google. Just type in Pictured Rocks Cave-In video, and it'll pop up there. And these caves are coming up on are a good example of that wave action that carves out the soft thin layer of rock you see through the center of them, known as the caves of all colors. In the wintertime, when waves come crashing into these caves, they'll pressurize and shoot out like a cannon. The wind will catch those waves and throw it back on top of the cliff, freezing them up there, leaving 4 or 5 feet of ice on top. What look like little bushes are actually old stunted trees. And if you look down the shoreline, you'll see an archway. That's our Lover's Leap. I would not recommend to jump off of Lover's Leap though. I don't care how much you say you're in love. It's an 80-foot drop into only 2 feet of water. And you may notice on top of the cliff through this section, there's a lot of twisted and broken up trees. Well, last November there was a pretty extreme windstorm out here. We believe a tornado formed out on the water and wiped out a lot of the trees through there. If you go hiking through that section, it's pretty neat to see. Almost looks like a weird wasteland. Almost as if a large beast had come crawling through the forest.
Vamos a apreciar una roca que está aquí.
And this large cave we're coming up on is known as Rainbow Cave.
Rainbow Cave?
If you look closely in the top right hand corner of Rainbow Cave, you can see some of that blue-green copper staining I was telling you about. But if you look at the surface water, you might be able to see a disturbance. Kind of looks like tiny splashes, almost as if it's raining inside of Rainbow Cave. Well, groundwater falls from the ceiling and into the lake all year long and creates huge, colorful icicles in the wintertime. Farm scenes, famous paintings, and famous faces.
Oh.
Even had a passenger tell me the other day, one of the boulders over there kind of looks like Dwayne Johnson. I looked over there as hard as I could, but all I could see was a rock.
En esta roca puedes mirar como un pueblo del desierto. Es muy interesante, pero no, realmente es una piedra dibujado. Solo el creador sabe, muchachos, solo el creador sabe, el grande maestro, el supremo alto.
And this next point's one of our more popular ones, so I'm going to stop the boat here for a moment.
Yes. Now we can.
Well, if you look at the point, you might already begin to tell why the local Native Americans who once jet skied through here were quite frightened of his presence. Gitche Manitou, they used to call him, or the Great Spirit. Well, the way that I see the old man's head is that point out there's his nose. His chin's at water level, and his forehead goes back into the trees, which are his headdress. He even has a jawline and a left ear hanging up that right-hand side. And a horizontal line for a mouth. Kind of looks like he's got some spinach in his teeth.
Spinach.
Well, some people say it looks a lot like the Chicago Blackhawks logo. But I wouldn't know, because I wouldn't waste my time watching the Chicago Blackhawks. Gitche Manitou stands at about 185 feet high.
Wow.
Grand Portal's the tallest rock formation along the Pictured Rocks cliffs at 208 feet high. You used to be able to take a small boat through that archway, but over 25 years ago that came crashing down, and now you pretty much have to rock climb. Seems like every year we come out here and that rock pile gets a little taller, along with the cave itself. Want to be surprised within the next century or so that Grand Portal won't be here anymore. Used to be a series of caves and caverns that stuck up from Grand Portal to where the boat is now, covering an area of right around 6 acres. But all that came crashing down in 1902.
Papi, can I walk? Can I stand? Yeah, should we can stand.
Now these next formations that we're coming up on are known as the Indian drums. Kind of look like elephant's feet or bear's legs. They say when a 20-foot high wave comes crashing into the mouth of the drums, it makes a sound very much like thunder. And for this next part, I like to refer to it as the fun part. Other captains refer to it as our version of the 7th inning stretch. So if you like to, you can get up and walk around, go up to that hand railing that's up at the front of the boat, on the top or on the sides. You'll see why here in just a moment.
Vamos entrando en unas piedras. Wow. Este está muy hermoso. Y la lancha está entrando adentro. Va topando con la piedra. Mira cómo se ven, muchachos. Es muy interesante. Zona. Está muy hermosa. Una vista única, man. Tienen que venir acá.
All this here is Chapel Cove. You folks ever do anything like this before?
No!
Yeah, neither have I. Right now we're at about 15 feet of water, and this boat draft's about 4.5.
I don't know.
Just as another little fun fact for you, this may be our newest boat, but you're also with this company's newest captain. Only just got my captain's license about 2 months ago. And you might be laughing right now, but that part is true. You could ask any of my crew. I worked here for the last 8 years, starting in mid-high school as a deckhand. Finally decided to get my captain's license this last year.
Este está bonito, muchachos. Este es un...
Halfway up the left-hand side, you can see some more of that blue-green copper staining wrapping around the point. Alright, that stretch time is over, or as I like to say, fun is all over. So go sit down. Unless you're standing in that lower back deck area, then that's totally fine.
Está bonito.
Well, this low area through here is known as Chapel Beach. Chapel Beach is a favorite overnight camping spot for those backpackers who hike along the Lakeshore Trail. And when they're out here, they feel like they're millions of miles away from everyone. So on those hot, sticky summer days, they take off all their clothes and run up and down this beach naked. It's disgusting. About that time, we'll come around the corner with a boat full of people and surprise everyone. But not everyone seems to mind too much, though. We even had one passenger come up and tell me that was the only wildlife they got to see their entire vacation. Chapel Rock's quite the interesting formation. You can see those pillars. They make a platform up on top. But what's more interesting than the rock itself is a lone pine tree sitting on top of the rock. There's not enough soil up there for that tree to survive. The only way it gets its water and nutrients are from its main roots that go over to the mainland. You can see those roots quite clearly hang off that left-hand side. You used to be a stone archway supporting those roots, but that came crashing down over 60 years ago. And the tree lives on.
Ahorita estamos de regreso y este sí va rápido para llegar a nuestro destino. Hace todo el motor que trae, toda la tonelada de agua que él está dejando, mira. Trae dos motores. Él trae esta y este que está acá. Es un cruiser que va bien rápido. La verdad sí lo disfrutamos mucho. La vista. Ahorita se está parando. Hay partes donde él va a parar. Mira todo el agua que él deja. Y va a través de rápido. La verdad está muy interesante. Muy interesante, muy hermoso. Toda la creación. Acá de este lado hay unas personas campando de este lado. La verdad está muy bonito, muchachos. En los cruces este es un lugar muy bueno. Les recomiendo de verdad. Este es Picture Rock, arriba de Michigan R.P. Este sería nuestro barco viajando de regreso. Hace ratito vinimos en la parte de arriba. Ahorita nos bajamos en la parte del nivel abajo. Ya le está yendo en la orilla. Esta es la parte de donde entramos hace rato en este canal que entra aquí. Es el canal que apreciamos hace rato. Unos túneles que aparecen en las piedras. Y antes si regresamos un poquito más cerca de lo que es las piedras. En la parte de arriba él estaba viajando un poquito más lejos. Estamos en la parte de adentro donde apreciamos estos, mira. Ya se acabó la fiesta, muchachos. Sí, estuvo muy bonito. Así que si quieren venir acá, pues nada más hay que buscarlo, Picture Rock, y venir aquí a pasar el fin de semana. Son muchas cosas que hay que hacer. Cuando hablamos de Picture Rock son muchas cosas que hay que hacer. Si les gusta ir en el barco, ir a caminar arriba, ir a climbar arriba, a ir a acampar, a ir a bañarse, tirarse en el agua. Pues esas son las cosas aquí. Así que me dio mucho gusto de compartirlo con ustedes. Así que cuídense, recuerden siempre portarse bien. Hasta una próxima.